せっかくだし二人で帰りましょう。その方があなたらしいわ。帰りしな人形の話でも聞かせてちょうだい。らしいって何よ、らしいって。いいから帰れ帰れ、ぐうたらアリス。部屋に閉じこもって役に立たないムクドリでも作ってろっての。
A disappointed sigh escaped Alice's delicate lips. She would not tolerate anyone talking shit about her birds. It seemed that the black-clad girl was more astonished than angry.
Aoko, 口にしたくないけど、本気?
Quietly, Alice questioned her roommate of nearly 2 years.
呆れた。二人で秘密を守ると言った。
Well, we'll just add him into the circle, you know.
まだ半端にそっち側なの？それとも情でも移った？
Yeah.
別に情っていうより私の気分。
I'm definitely not compassionate and trying not to kill this guy.
その場その場で変わるもんでしょ。気分ならなおさらよ。そっちこそ一度した約束は絶対守るなんて時代遅れなんじゃない？
How forever ago is this promise?
Like 4 hours?
Yeah, like this morning, you know.
The proverbial knives were out now. Yeah, she is literally floating.
Yeah, she's like floating on top of the clock tower.
No quarter was given, no quarter taken. Sadly, their partnership was one of convenience, and had not reached the level of mutual understanding.
Yep.
Their version of friendship was both delicate and unique. When a conflict of opinion arose, each would refuse to budge until the other crumbled. Neither was concerned for the other's plight, and at least for now, that was how they liked it.
そうね。今の暴言はあなたらしいとは思うけど。
Good of you to accept that, I guess?
Once again, she let out a sigh, even larger than the one before.
言い争いは後にしましょう。
Why don't we argue at home later?
そこの彼をいなかったことにするのは私だけで
Yeah,
十
you
分だし。
can.
Finally, she struck straight to the point. As if making to move a chess piece, Alice lifted her slender finger and conjured a fork.
Oh
shit!
Wow, okay.
Even this simple action seemed mysterious to Soujuuro. The same boy who'd been hunted by his classmate Aoko Aozaki and borne witness to an automaton.
I mean, yeah, this is a little different than, like, a robot.
Aoko's violence and an animated doll. Though perhaps far beyond the realm of logic, both these things were derived from reality. As surprised as he'd been, there was no need to think of them as total mysteries. However, a flying killer fork, on the other hand, that was a step too far.
Right.
When the thing appeared out of thin air from a seemingly unrelated gesture, he had no word for it besides mysterious.
Yeah, that's a little more magical than the stuff we've seen before.
Aoko shot bullets of pure energy at him.
But it's still a gun. It's not making something from nothing.
Where did the bullets of pure energy come from? Nowhere.
The energy in her arm.
Soujuuro stood motionless, captivated by the stage performer's magic trick, as the girl's single-finger magecraft turned into an attack directed at him.
Oh.
A blue light flew from the side to repel it, annihilating it without trace. Oh, now you can aim!
Yeah. It looks like she surprised herself there.
Aoko immediately regretted her reflexive shot.
どういうこと？約束を曲げただけじゃなく、ルールまで破るつもり？
The already chilled midwinter air plunged below freezing. Alice looked calm and collected on the outside, but in reality she was sometimes even more hot-blooded than Aoko. Especially when it concerned her familiars.
Oh.
Accidentally destroying one would often result in a week of silent treatment. What about eating like 4 of them and then another one directly in front of her a couple days later? But maliciously destroying one, Alice would reserve the right to retaliate without fair warning.
あっちゃー、いつかやるとは思ったけど、ついに逆鱗に触れちゃったか。
You figured you would do that someday?
Though Aoko was shocked at the depth of her own stupidity, she also was, in fact, a little bit relieved. She didn't intend to make any excuses, and she had no regrets. If she'd broken the rules, then so had Alice.
青子。なんていうか。
Yeah.
If anything, this took a load off her mind. After all, now there was no going back. Aoko never intended to break her own rules. If there was anything for Aoko to regret, it was putting too little power into her shot.
私的に今夜こいつに死なれるのは困るのよ。
I'm fine with him dying tomorrow night, just not this night.
I made a promise that he could live
日
today.
を改めて殺しに来てくれないアリス。いいでしょ？たった1日ぐらい。
Taking on a pro bono case in the defense of Suspect S was the socially acceptable thing.
それは市場。悪い？一宿一般の恩義って割と大事にしてるの、私。私との協定より。
Yeah?
ええ、時と場合によっては。
Soujuuro's human rights had not yet entered the argument.
Don't even try, my guy.
Excuse me, I'm back here. Can I say something? Shut up, Soujuuro! Mommy and Daddy are talking! The girls were busy pouring oil on each other's flames. The girl clad in black was the first to move, or rather, to erupt.
そう。よくわかったわ、青子。私は彼をここで殺す。あなたは彼をここだけ生かす。つまり、私と戦う。ということでいい？
This is not a good time for a boss fight.
Aoko bit back the retort. She was very familiar with Alice's magecraft, and knew painfully well how many mystics were hidden in Alice's tiny body. The odds of victory were essentially non-existent. And once the first shot had been fired, Alice Kuonji was without mercy. Whether facing a roommate or a friend, a most beloved family member or a stranger. Once Alice began to fight as a witch, she became a heartless, unflappable monster. Aoko advanced another half step forward as if to encourage herself. It was too late to back down now. The situation was no longer a trivial quarrel over a witness. The bedrock of their so-called friendship had nothing to do with their individual abilities, but everything to do with being equals in will. That is why, in order to stay true to herself, Aoko had no room for compromise or deception.
もちろん、あんたを殺すことになっても、そこのバカは生かしきるわ。それに。
Her magic circuits howled as they kicked into gear.
It's a lot of spinning.
Her body, which had been mostly dormant during the battle with the puppet, ignited, preparing to demonstrate its true worth.
I guess the sickness stuff wore off.
どの道最後には殺し合う仲でしょ、私たち。
Her courage overpowered any fear she had for her opponent. Turning her body, her magic circuits to become become like the barrel of a gun, Aoko fired a magic bullet. It was an exceedingly basic magecraft formula. There was no nature interference, no creating of wind, parting of water, or hastening of decay. It was simply the process of converting the imaginary action known as magical energy into something real before releasing it as heat. Thus, Aoko's destructive power was equal to her supply of magical energy.
How is that supply doing, by the way?
The magic bullets she'd used against Soujuuro were among the most basic single-action magecraft that did not require an incantation. At her present ability, Aoko's main mode of attack, her magic bullet could be fired at 3 levels of power. These were at the 2nd level. This required a double-action magecraft, a casting through activation of her crest combined with a simplified incantation. And
Not
it clinked harmlessly off of Alice's everything-proof shield. However, without blinking, Alice dispersed the shot that Aoko had mustered all of her spirit to fire. Oh. Well, shit.
Yeah, Soujuuro was looking a little shocked back there.
Aoko tutted in frustration. A swift sneak attack, magecraft that used a simplified incantation, would not be enough to break Alice's guard.
相変わらずお堅いこと。そのから一段と独りよがりになってるんじゃない？
Aoko provoked Alice in order to disguise her own lack of composure. Somehow, Alice seemed delighted by Aoko's bravery.
Bravado. Oh. Are we doing this? Is this a real fight? I've never been provoked like this over something so stupid. You don't look unhappy, though.
Alice giggled. Smiling with heartfelt amazement, Alice gestured her left hand toward the earth.
Oh, boy. For some reason, zapping noises.
Yeah. Countless utensils shot out from underneath the cobblestones paving the plaza. She grabbed his hand as she shouted, jumping backwards before he even had a chance to respond. As if they had wills of their own, the utensils that had suddenly appeared from the ground gave chase. It's like Senbon Zakura, but with forks.
Kinda.
As the barrier of spears grew around them, Aoko and Soujuuro put some distance between themselves and the clock tower. Just under 30 feet stood between them and Alice. The lethal weapons that had crumbled the stone beneath them fell short of what Aoko had anticipated. They now encircled the clock tower, making the scene look like the burning of a witch at the stake. The path behind them was safe. If they wanted, they could try to make a break for the main gate and escape.
いいのアリス。悪いけど逃げられるなら逃げるわよ。私。
If she could just make it back to town, it would be Aoko's win. All she wanted to do was let Soujuuro get away for the night, so if she could get him back to the city, it would be, for the most part, mission accomplished. Or so she had thought. Without even offering a glance at her targets below, Alice carefully and lovingly pulled out a bottle from her pocket.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, Midori Frasco.
Well, I mean, like, does she know what's in it? Or... Ah. Fire? Ah, okay. Yeah, she knew she wanted to break it if she could.
Her shot was deflected with ease. Gone was Aoko's earlier bravado. It was only natural. Aoko had indeed grown as a mage. Over the last 2 years of study, her studies had progressed well. And she'd more or less gotten a grasp on her roommate's tendencies and abilities.
Oh boy.
This had made her conceited enough to believe that, under favorable circumstances, she'd be able to show Alice a thing or two in a fight. Alice uncorked the magical bottle. A gentle breeze caressed her cheek. Diddle Diddle fled as a new player stepped onto the stage. But from where would it enter? The sound of footsteps, a nostalgic parade, approached.
What the? Electricity came on? Oh, cool.
Oh god, she has the power of electricity!
Uh,
Unfortunately, it was true. This was a miracle that Aoko Aozaki, an apprentice mage, had never witnessed. Also, she really is flying! What the fuck?
She is actually floating over that clock tower.
The dead came to life.
The dead electric lights?
The dead amusement park? Like,
Huh.
that is not terribly descriptive, to be honest. However, it is a remarkably good line to end on.
I was thinking the same thing. We're about at time anyway, so
Yep.
that was good timing. Oh boy, yeah, you thought one boss fight was enough for tonight, but nope. Now we gotta figure out how to get through this.
Hopefully by not dying.
That'd be great.
Maybe, I don't know, Soujuuro can do something cool.
Maybe he can pull that neck bandage off and, like, reveal superpowers.
Like, seriously, like, you've mentioned it. You've made it Chekhov's gun.
I know, I'm still waiting.
Well, then again, I was also waiting for Saber to draw that sword on his ass the entire fucking game. It never happened!
Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes Chekhov's sword is literally just a decorative sword.
Sometimes it's literally just a background detail of the character design.
I kept waiting for it to be like an ace in the hole noble phantasm that was gonna get busted out when shit got really bad.
No, it's just not something he fights with.
No, it was just there.
Yeah.
It's just decoration.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Saber.
Yep, just, you know. What are you gonna do?
Yep.
Like, I'm trying to think of another character that has, like, a decorative weapon like that. Oh, Mosh. In her, like, third ascension, she has a sword at her belt, and we've been waiting for, like, 7 years for her to draw the thing.
Yeah. Or, Ganon in, like, Brawl and I think Smash 4 as well.
Well, Smash
where
Brothers
he
is...
had a sword that he used in his taunts and was otherwise never used.
Okay, but he used it in his taunt, then. Yeah.
Or Captain Falcon, who wears a gun on his hip.
Yeah, but he punches everything. Okay, yeah, I mean... I wouldn't have thought much of it, except for somebody asked about if he hurt his neck once or twice.
Right.
That's what made me
Well,
curious.
once they drew attention to it.
Right, it's
like,
not like, I don't know, maybe he has neck pain and just wants a compression bandage, but...
Yeah, there's
Wow.
like definitely something supernatural up with that neck.
He managed to avoid taking fatal damage with Aoko and the puppet. Let's see if Alice can actually hurt him and see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she'll be the one to finally, like, see if he has healing or something.
She does seem to have the power of power.
Well...
Like she can turn electricity back on, so that's fun. She has the power of paying the electric bill for the park.
Yeah.
This isn't even Magecraft. She just paid the electric bill.
I'm hoping that wasn't some kind of time vial, but I don't know how turning back the clock on the amusement park would help.
I'm pretty sure any form of actual time magic would be some kind of sorcery. And I'm also
Yeah.
pretty sure Alice is not a sorcerer, even though she's descended from
Descended of
a
one.
sorcerer. I don't think she herself has access to the fifth magic or second magic or whatever.
Second
it
magic
was.
would be Zeldritch, and that's probably what time would
third.
end up being.
Third magic.
Third is materialization of the soul.
She,
So that's... It is bringing the dead back to life, in a sense.
she was
but-
from one of the magics. I can't remember
First.
which. First? Was she first?
Which is ether clumps, or creating something from nothing. So that kind of explains the fork, except I'm pretty sure that was a mystic code or a familiar that she had pre-prepared, so I don't know if that really counts.
Or a noble phantasm?
No.
I mean, sometimes people get those. Sometimes humans get those.
It has to be someone else's, I think.
Does it?
Like Bazet's Fragorok isn't hers, it was just passed down from a great hero.
Well, yeah, but, like, they had it when they were alive, and...
I think it's only...
Still Noble Phantasm.
I think it only becomes a Noble Phantasm after it becomes a legend. So, anything Alice has, unless it belonged to somebody legendary, would just be, you know, a thing.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure that's the rule. Anything could become a Noble Phantasm once it becomes legendary. I'm curious why she turned the power back on. I really don't know how this helped her.
This does not, like... do you not want to be subtle? Do you want to draw the attention of the entire fucking neighborhood?
That the park suddenly came back on.
Because this place is, like...
Been abandoned for years.
Yeah, and it's only, like, a handful of, like, streets away from residential housing.
Yeah.
There's, like, a small forest between here and there, but, like,
Yeah, someone
enough
must
that
have
you can
noticed.
see through the trees.
And enough that lots of people could see that Ferris wheel, I bet.
Well, it's also, yeah, a giant-ass Ferris wheel
Yeah.
that you've just lit up. Like, you're gonna be drawing so much attention. How many witnesses do you want to have to kill tonight, Alice?
Unless only Aoko and Soujuuro can see it, or she made a barrier, maybe?
Or, God forbid, this is some sort of reality marble.
Oh, that would suck.
That would really suck.
Hey, I just pulled you into an alternate reality. Fuck you.
Get bent, scrub.
You thought you could run. Yeah, I mean, Aoko certainly seems scared by this, so...
Yeah, let's hope Alice doesn't have a reality marble. That could be a problem.
Yeah, that could be bad.
Ugh.
But hopefully we'll find out what happens next time. And until then, we'll catch you later.